In this series of videos, we're going to cover how to create 3D models that can be printed and then move. Some of the stuff we'll be printing will be print in place. That means like a flexi model that when you take off the printer and move it around, it should stay assembled but have flexibility. Other parts are going to be assembly, either using filament welding or using screws and nuts. So for this set of projects, we're building an engine, and I'm going to have you guys follow along with me. Unlike the last one where I had just watch it and go ahead, this you're actually going to follow each step. So we're going to start off with creating a new project. And this is very important this time because we're going to have lots of files. And it's going to call it 3D Engine 2019. Hit finish. Hit done. And we're going to start this engine by creating the pistons. And that's going to sort of set the scale for everything else. So I'm going to press new and create a new part. I'm going to base the pistons on a 1-inch cylinder, probably maybe an inch or so tall. And we're going to connect him to these connecting rods via a piece of welded filament. We'll be using 1.75 millimeter filament. So we'll be putting that dimension in when we actually do this. So let's start off with making the top of the cylinder. I'm going to start this in the XZ plane this time just because I want to be looking down on it. And I'm going to start a circle. I'm going to dimension this to 1 inch. I'm going to extrude. And I'm going to extrude downwards 1 inch. That looks really good. That gives me the right basic shape. Now, this piston, the most important thing we need is we need to make the space for the connecting rod. So we're going to add a little bit of divot here. That's going to be where we connect. So I'm going to start a sketch on the origin on the XY plane. And I'm going to take and slice graphics. That's the F7 key. And I'm going to draw a arc from here to here. And I know some things with this arc. I know that the center is going to be vertical to the center there. I know that I'm going to have a line connecting these two sides. I'm going to dimension. I know that this center is also placed on that line. And I'm going to set this radius to be 0.25. Nope. And we're going to set the center point onto this line too. I need to also close the end. So I'm going to click on the end connector and click on that. And we should have everything purple or black. I don't know why that's not turning black. Let's dimension that and see if there's anything going on. Nope. He's probably fine. I can horizontal him, make sure he's locked that way. There we go. He probably was actually could be tilted. So that's horizontal. And I'm going to extrude. And this time, I'm going to go until, and I'm going to click on the outside of the shape. And I'm going to go both directions. And I'll click on the outside shell. Now, the reason I clicked on the outside shell is because that's going to leave this end rounded. It's not going to be square. It's going to be there. Now, I don't know why I didn't go both directions. I'm going to click on the extrusion. I'm going to change the from to be also the cylinder. Okay. I'm just going to start a sketch on the engine here, and I'm also going to I'm going to project geometry, and then extrude again to the outside of the shell, and make sure it's on join and pointing the right way. There we go. So now I have my basic piston. Now I need to do some work on this guy. I need to put a hole that we're going to put the filament through, and I need to cut a groove out where we'll actually have the center. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take, and I'm going to start a sketch again on the XZ plane or XY plane. I'm going to hit F7 to slice graphics. I'm going to project the geometry here, and I'm going to draw a circle here. And this circle, is going to be 1.75 mm for millimeters plus 0.01 inches. I'm going to move this guy down here, and I'm going to block it horizontally. No. And I'm going to dimension this so that from this edge to this edge, project geometry, dimension. Okay, it's not going to let me dimension that way. I'm going to dimension this to be 0.1. So that should give me a nice section. I'm now going to extrude, and we're going to cut that in both directions all. So this is giving we're going to put our filament through. And then finally, we're going to start a sketch on here, and we're going to cut a groove out. Center point rectangle. F7 so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to turn off slice graphics. I'm now dimensioned from here to here to be 0.15 plus 0.01 inches. That 0.01 is the tolerance. I don't have to dimension left and right because I'm just going to extrude, and I'm going to cut all the way through it, and I'm going to make sure it's pointing to get that section there. I am going to add some fillets here to make everything look pretty. And I'm at this 0.05. I'm going to fillet this edge and this edge. And then finally fillet all around the outside. Apply. All right, it doesn't like that, so I'm going to hit cancel, and I'm going to make this 0.025. Apply. So now I have my piston. It has a nice shape. I could put some fake oil rings in, but right now I'm going to skip that. So I'm going to save this as piston. And then we'll start assembling this into an assembly so you can see how this is all going to go together. And that'll be the next video.